Well, good morning, everyone. I am so happy to see you today. That was a really fun song. I really got into. Um, I've I've got soul, but I'm not a soldier. I love that. What a great song, and how lucky we are to be alive today and to be together today at the center, the Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living. Wow, welcome to this service. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I am thrilled to acquaint you and orient you with our customs here. This service is being recorded, so you're on alert now, and you are giving us permission by staying in the room to record it, but you can turn off your camera. You're welcome to change your name, your username on the screen, and you do not have to have your face on the recording. And we do use that on social media in order to build our community. And we also abstain from chatting with everyone during during this service, just to make sure that we have our full attention focused on these wonderful presenters that we have today. And speaking of wonderful presenters, it is my great thrill and joy to introduce Reverend Sharon Dunn. Reverend Sharon Dunn is a littermate of mine from ministerial school, and everyone in all of ministerial school completely relied upon Sharon Dunn, because she was the person who paid attention to all the things that the rest of us didn't pay attention to, and she wrote them all down and kept track of them, and we needed to pay attention to them. And she is a person who pays attention to the things that need to be paid attention to. I think I'm supposed to tell you that she has a master's in consciousness, but I'm just going to say she is a master of consciousness, which means that she's constantly doing the work. She's constantly looking at herself, asking the hard questions, doing the inventories, doing the deal. And as a result, she is highly qualified to share with us the extraordinary things that she gets every week as she is in deep reflection on our teachings and our principles. So my pleasure to introduce to you the senior minister of the Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living, Reverend Sharon Dunn. Yay! Go
Good
wild!
morning. Good morning. Wow. Masters in consciousness. I keep telling them I have a master's in consciousness studies. They keep forgetting that little word there, studies, but I'll take it. Thank you, Sarah. And if you are all aware, August 23rd, Reverend Sarah is going to be our guest speaker. So we are going to have some variation here, a different perspective, and we're going to go back to that, aren't we, each month? And that was a good idea that came from our board meeting. I think it was last Sunday, wasn't it? So good morning. You know, I just, before we get started, I just wanted to tell the truth, really. Like, the truth is that this center is supported by an incredibly talented group of people. I learned a lot about that this morning. We had a leadership presentation before service this morning that was led by our lead practitioner, Debbie Putnam. And it opened my heart even more for this service. Usually I'm busy running around putting my hair in rollers and things of that nature. But instead, I had a revelation so deep, and I thought to myself, we're all leaders here. And I am so grateful, humbled, almost a little emotional, very deep in my heart that I'm not alone here. Because I think sometimes I can feel a little alone in that I am alone, going on 5 months now in the house. My house is very clean. That's a different sermon. But what I'm saying here is I got I got brought into an embrace and a reminder that I'm not alone, that we have each other, that we have the likes of our practitioner core, Linda Connolly and Margie, and we have our board of trustees, Ruth at the helm, and we've got Reverend Patricia as my partner. And I wouldn't say crime, but I am just feeling so full right now and so cared for, so that then I can care for all of you. And wow, I'm just so grateful. This is not a solo flight. And I want to thank all of you. Let's give it up for all this production team and all of it. Let's just give it up for each other. Let's just know that we're all a part of this amazing community. I'm seeing faces from the classes I've been teaching, like Beth, who's been teaching me. I'm just so grateful for all of you. And so with that in mind, I'm going to introduce our practitioner of the day. And our practitioner of the day is Linda Connolly. And, you know, this morning I remembered how each of us are different and contribute to each other, contribute to all of us. And I'm teaching Taoism. Today's topic is on Taoism, and I'm realizing how important we all are for each other, because what Linda sees, I don't see. And she helps me see. And what a seer she is. She sees from the heart. Linda, please.
Thank you. Now, with that, let's just take a deep breath in and out into all of creation. For we breathe in and out in the Creator that is creating all creation. And it creates out of such love and joy and freedom as it expresses itself in and through and as each individualized expression of itself as creation. And within this, each individualized expression of itself is given free will, freedom of choice to express and respond and expand and connect to the unique individualized expression that each creation is. And it is this love and this joy that created all creation in this freedom of choice and free will to explore in our own unique way the divine expression within each and every one of us. And I know that it is expressing so uniquely, so beautifully, in, through, and as me, and in, through, and as every person here and in the entire world. And as we gather today, we took the choice, we made the choice. From that freedom that we were given, we choose to gather today for this sacred Sunday service that feeds and expands that unique expression within each and every one of us, as it is expressed through Ruth with her love of music and all that she does behind the scenes so that every Sunday unfolds so divinely perfectly. And the freedom of Doug Van Workum as he uses his words of poetry to move us. And the unique and divine expression of each and every one of us that takes part in today's sacred service, as Reverend Sharon Dunn, who so lives and breathes and just deepens the weekly themes that is presented every week. And she lives and breathes and connects these so that she can be so steeped in them and so divinely guided in how they are expressed today through her unique expression. That each and every one of us here hears what we need to hear, expresses what is ours to express and to contemplate. We are given that freedom of choice, that free will. And for this and so much more, I'm so eternally, lovingly grateful. And so it is. And so, our vision. We are a welcoming sanctuary community where all are accepted, valued, and supported in the global family. And our mission is that we inspire and nurture personal and global transformation through the teaching of science of mind and the purpose, in joy and love we connect in service to all life. And as I read these every Sunday, I get so deeply reminded of how they were created, how our vision, mission, and purpose came so beautifully together in a board retreat that just seemed to just unfold so perfectly. And so now let's stay tuned and tune into our chant. And I don't know about you, but I can't stay silent. And so I stay muted because I'll go on mute when it starts. But I can just say it because those words spoken out move me. They carry me. And it's safe because I can do it and no one else hears me except my beloved husband, Patrick. And so Patrick and I both, we chant these, we sing the songs that just kind of lift us. And so feel free, please, unmute to continue and say these chants like we would if we were actually at our sacred center. And with that, it is Karen Drucker's beautiful chant, There Is Only Love.
There is only in this lovely, loving space, let's listen to our readings. The road to freedom lies not through mysteries or occult performances, but through the intelligent use of nature's forces and laws. To live your life without expectation, without the need for specific results, that is freedom. That is godliness. That is how I live. You need to learn how to select your thoughts just the same way you select your clothes every day. This is a power you can cultivate. If you want to control things in your life so bad, work on the mind. It's the only thing you should be trying to control. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day, that thou canst not then be false to anyone. Now join us in our meditation, and then following that, there's going to be poetry by our own Doug Van Workum. So sit back and settle in for a wonderful guided meditation.
Let yourself relax into this moment. Let yourself be held without any need to hold yourself up. Let yourself meet the unknown. It's okay. It's a place we don't have to know with our mind. What if there were angels all around you, and you just couldn't see them? What if there was a love so vast that you could never be apart from it? What if it was impossible for you to go anywhere where this love could not
In some of my poetry, I use a phrase, a repeating phrase at the end of each stanza. When I was drumming and sharing in the center, I would always invite everyone listening to join in on that last line, because it was a way of group participating and sharing in the energy, but also because I believe repeating something out loud helps set it more deeply in the mind. I tweaked that a little bit now for the Zoom experience. We're all in the privacy of our own home and no one else can hear us. So if you feel so inclined, please feel free to sing out this last line at each phrase, which is, and the title also, Always at Choice. This life was here before eternity began, and it will remain when forever winds down. Friends, it may take me 3 classes, 3 decades, or 3 lifetimes. I can't really say. All I know is I am here to learn. I am always at choice. We know now, don't we, that all prayer must include what's best for everyone involved. If not, how could we enjoy a meal when others at our table go hungry? So let's all pray together and remember, we are always at choice. Tell me, why should we struggle so hard to reach those higher realms of learning when everything we need is right here, all around us and within our own grasp? God, if we learn just one thing in this life, let it be that we are always at choice. When the acrobat swings out over the crowd and lets go her flying trapeze, she bets her entire life on knowing right where the next swing will be. My life swings somewhere between the 2 spiraling towers. The one is of my own free will, and the other is of God's amazing grace. Friends, what I'm really trying to say here is I am always at choice. It's true. The awakened mind can set the powerful horses of intention thundering across the open prairies of the heart. But none of that matters if we forget we are always at choice. So what if the poor man wins the lottery? So what if the rich one gains enlightenment with their last dime spent? None of that matters if they forget we are always at choice. Praise God. I am finally learning now how to dance between those 2 great pounding hammers of life and of death. Who really knows? I may live forever. I may die tonight. But none of that matters if I forget I am always at choice. So let's set a welcoming table and prepare a most nourishing meal. Let's set these ideas out before us like plates of warm, nourishing food, and never forget, life always tastes so much better when we remember we are always at choice. Friends, help me now. I don't know if I should end this poem right here now or not. Oh, wait, I just remembered. Ha! I am always at choice.
Oh my goodness. You're not supposed to make me laugh before my talk. Okay, I can't help it. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Doug. As always, amazing. Amazing. Oh my goodness. I love that. Wait, did you say before eternity began and after forever? Before eternity began. That's what actually we're talking about today. We're going to talk about the Tao of freedom. That's our topic for today. And, you know, this is our last week with the theme of untethered spirituality. And haven't you noticed that every week we have been, you know, really exploring the topic of freedom, and that all these topics are planned a year in advance? How relevant it has been to talk about freedom. And I'm I'm not the same person that I was at the beginning of July. Anybody else feel that way? I'm not the same person. So our topic, the Tao of freedom, I want to say this profound statement that we are conduits for the divine. We are conduits for the divine. And I want to explore that a little bit. I want to also give kudos to the 2 books that have been our book of the month. One is Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, Living the Wisdom of the Tao by Wayne Dyer. Funny thing is that I'm actually exploring Taoism. I have been all through July and teaching the course, learning, not teaching, learning the course and sharing it with the students on Taoism that was authored by Reverend Dr. Edward Viljoen, who's our spiritual leader. So I don't know if I'm a chameleon or if I just love everything, but I think I'm a Taoist. I knew that I was an integrated Catholic. I knew that I was a Zen Buddhist. I knew that but recently I've added to my I am practice the Hinduism through the Bhagavad Gita, and now Taoism through our class. And I want to talk about, sometimes when I pray, I'll say in the first step, which we have 5-step treatment, we have a 5-step affirmative prayer. And the first step is to recognize the one. Recognize the one. Now, Ernest Holmes calls this by many names. Kind of remember the thing itself. But it is also in Hinduism to be Brahman, Islam to be Allah, right? In Native American culture, it's the Great Spirit. It is God in some teachings. Yahweh, right? And it is the Tao. Does that explain? It is the Tao. So Taoism is another spiritual teaching. It is another philosophy. It is another way of life that is aligned and intertwined with Buddhism and Confucianism. So these are the ancient Asian religions, teachings, and philosophies. We say we are threefold in Science of Mind, that we're a religion, philosophy, and a science. Well, I kind of am getting the impression as I'm a student through all these courses that I claim to be the teacher of, learning that we're all the same in what we're saying, that we're all yearning to experience and express love, and love for ourselves and love for one another. In Buddhism, it is a philosophy, not a religion, although it is considered in teaching world religions to be included. But in Buddhism, there's no belief in a deity, and yet Buddhists pray and name Buddha. Now, they're not praying to necessarily, but to know the achievement of Buddha, which is nirvana, right? Is to know nirvana. So that's a little bit about the Tao, especially for me, who knew very little about Taoism. And now I just can't get enough of it. I cannot get enough of it. In Wayne Dyer's book, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, Living the Wisdom of the Tao, he says, love vanquishes all attackers. It is impregnable in defense. When heaven wants to protect someone, does it send an army? No. It protects us with love. So I'm thinking to myself, and maybe you want to join me. Imagine if I'm focused on understanding instead of blaming others. Imagine if I'm focused on understanding others instead of blaming them. So, what does freedom feel like? So, we're going to talk about three things. We're going to talk about to know the Tao. We're going to talk about the Tao of freedom, and we're going to talk about to be the example of the Tao. So, to know the Tao, our inherent nature is forever seeking to express itself in terms of freedom. Isn't that interesting? And the Tao of freedom is gifting ourselves the ability to live freely. And to be the example of the Tao, which is kind of something we talk about every Sunday, isn't it? We haven't called it the Tao. We've called it spiritual principles, or, right? To be the example of the Tao of freedom is to model this truth. And what are we modeling this truth if not for others and ourselves, right? And I think this is also what we talk about on Sundays. We talk about, we learn these beautiful things, we learn these beautiful teachings, and then we want to go out, not out. We want to go outside of Sunday service, outside of the Zoom room, and see if we can live these wonderful principles. And so in science of mind, we refer to the thing itself, that invisible essence from which everything comes, the source of all, the unlimited power and creative intelligence that is present everywhere. The source creates our individual experience according to the direction of our thought, our belief, and our intention. And I believe Linda, in her beautiful invocation, spoke to Creator creating creation. Taoism, see if you pick up any similarity. Taoism refers to the absolute principle underlying the universe. Do you think Ernest Holmes studied Taoism? It is also a system of beliefs, attitudes, and practices set toward the service and living to a person's nature. It's also to be in order with nature, all of nature. The science of mind combines within itself a set of spiritual principles, right? Which is true for all, as I always say. That is the ultimate guide and goal for living. And Taoism combines within itself the principles of yin and yang, and signifying the way, it is called the way, a code of behavior that is in harmony with the natural order. Are you feeling any similarities to what we kind of practice and learn about each week? And what is the yin and yang? And we know the symbol of the yin and yang. And we were talking about it, or I shared about it this morning. It is the thing I talk about all the time when I say, this should be the planet of paradox. It shouldn't be Earth. Well, now as a Taoist, I found my place. I found the yin yang symbol that shows us the opposites, not as bad, good, but as complement. And so whatever we are seeing outside of us that looks like it's in opposition is in fact in complement. Now, if we were to see that in what's going on in the world right now, we would trust in the natural order of things. Do you ever feel like you fall into despair when you watch the news? Do you ever feel like, gosh, I don't even know how to be with this? How about this one? You know, we've reached a new low. I don't think we can say that anymore. I mean, or it can't get any worse than this. Or how about what I say, I've never been here before. In all the years I've been alive, I've never had this much going on at once in my world. However, if we looked at it from the Tao, we will see that something wonderful is happening when something is not wonderful. Something wonderful is happening when it is not wonderful. And if we look at everything that way, if we look at it that way, we would see that everything we experience is necessary. Everything that's going on right now is necessary for the evolution of our spirit, for the evolution of the spirit of our planet, for the evolution of our own individual spirits. Have you learned that you can love more during this? Have you learned that you can accept more during this? Have you learned that you can actually listen to understand more? I've also learned that I can judge more, condemn more. I'm so excited to live in these times, not because I'm attached to the outcome, which is the opposite of the Tao, right? And it's the opposite of Buddhism. Buddhism talks about the middle way. It talks about non-attachment. But there's something wonderful happening to our consciousness right now, that the outpicturing of it is this yin yang, this apparent opposite experience that we could either judge bad or good or necessary. I'm going to go with necessary. It's growing me as a spiritual being. It's growing me in every way possible. It's growing me as a minister. It's growing me as a human being. It's growing me as a white person. It's growing me as a religious person. It's growing me as a citizen of this country. It's growing me as a faith in my wholeness and health and well-being. It's just growing me, growing me, growing me. So I'm going to read a little story here. Taoism is said to be intertwined with Buddhism and Confucianism. There's a story about the three great Asian leaders, Lao Tzu, Confucius, and Buddha, all meant to have tasted vinegar. Confucius found it sour, much like he found the world of degenerate people. Buddha found it bitter, much like he found the world to be full of suffering. But Lao Tzu found the world sweet. You can see where I'm going here, becoming a Taoist. This is telling because his philosophy tends to look at, listen to this, the apparent discord in the world and sees it as an underlying harmony guided by something called the Tao. He said to have authored the Tao Te Ching, which is somewhat like the Bible, which gives instructions often vague and generally open to multiple interpretations on how to live a good life. So he is said to have authored the Tao Te Ching. There's some conversation about that. Just like there's some conversation about every avatar and did they exist really, or when did they exist, or when did they write what they wrote? I don't think that's important. He discusses the Tao as the way of the world, which is also the path of virtue, happiness, and harmony. Isn't that beautiful? The way of the world, which is also the path of virtue, happiness, and harmony. The way isn't an inherently confusing, difficult thing, but in order to follow the Tao, we need to go beyond simply reading and thinking about it. Instead, we must learn flowing or effortless action. Instead, we must learn flowing or effortless action. It's sort of a purposeful acceptance of the way of the Tao and living in harmony with it. Can you imagine applying this to what's going on right now? Accepting what's going on and living in harmony with it? This may seem lofty and bizarre, but the suggestions are actually very simple. First, we ought to make more time for stillness. To the mind that is still, the whole universe surrenders. Then we need to let go of our schedules and simply experience the world. We spend so much time rushing from one place to the next in life, but nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Then since we're not going out, we can apply this to what is going in. How about watching the news? How about we turn it off? Because remember, it's what's going in. It's particularly important that we remember certain things. Grieving, growing wiser, a new relationship. They all happen on their own schedule, like the changing of leaves in the autumn or the blossoming of the bulbs we planted months ago. When we're still and patient, we also need to be open. The usefulness of the pot comes from its emptiness. We're talking about a pot that you plant things in. Lao Tzu said, empty yourself of everything that your mind becomes still. If we're too busy or preoccupied with anxiety or ambition, we will miss 1,000 moments of human experience that are our natural inheritance. We need to be in touch with our real selves. And our real selves is the Tao. So remember at first when I started out, I said, Brahman, Allah, God, Great Spirit, the thing itself. I want you to look at each other. Look at each other right now. Look at each other and notice that there are a lot of gods peeking through these windows. And that everyone is correlated in that unity, in that recognition, in that unification, that everyone, even those we don't agree with, even those we don't like, we are all one. We are all the Great Spirit. We came from there and we're going back there. We're only here in these bodies to experience each other. How do you want to do that? Isn't that wonderful? So what is the Tao of freedom? The Tao of freedom is not I, but the spirit within that does the work. Have we heard this before? The freedom is to allow that is to become your experience, not only for yourself and for those that you have an easy time being around, but for those that you don't. According to Taoism, one's ultimate goal is to live at peace with the way of the Tao and recognize that everything that happens in life should be accepted as part of the eternal force which binds and moves through all things. Do you understand what we're saying here? We are saying that what is happening all around us right now is the Tao. All that is happening right now is happening on purpose and in principle. Isn't that wild? Because I can tell you, sometimes I get in despair and I forget. I get caught up in what it looks like. Do you ever do that? I just get so caught up in it. I just want to hide myself in, season 3 of whatever I'm watching. Or I just want to hide myself from everything because I feel hopeless. I have taken the Tao, I have taken what is happening outside of me personally. I have taken what's going on around me as wrong. I have taken what's going on around me as this is never going to be okay. I have taken what's going on around me as fear of annihilation. I don't know where you go with it, but I can go all the way downtown. I can go all the way to annihilation. You could spend a Sunday afternoon in here and get quite an education. And then something lifts me up. This morning it was Debbie. One person can remind me of who I am. And all of a sudden I have no despair. All of a sudden I have this impetus to be that is, to share that is all over the world, to speak into that is, to speak into principle, to speak into love, and to resume my spiritual practice. I don't know if you ride the roller coaster with me. This roller coaster is I think it's the biggest in the world. My nephew goes all over the world to ride roller coasters. He's a roller coaster aficionado. What do you call those people? He's an expert at roller coasters. Well, so am I. And I don't even have to leave the house. I can get on the highest high. And then from there, I can put my arms in the air because I've got the strength of God. I am Allah. I am the Tao. And then I'm screaming bloody murder as I'm I apparently can't talk this morning. Plummet, falling down fast. Oh my goodness. So what is it to be the example of the Tao? The example of the Tao of freedom. What you fight weakens you. What you cooperate with strengthens you. This is from Wayne Dyer again. And I have been accused of tone policing. And I do like everything in the positive. I shy away from conflict. I am Arjuna asking Krishna, do I really have to go in the middle of this battlefield? These are all my friends. This is my family. These are my cousins. Do I really have to go? I can't. I would just as soon not. I am all that is. Are you with me, guys? Are you all as well? Are you all of it and none of it? Now, I know you want to ride that roller coaster with me. And remember, nowadays, no one's in the next car. So we're safe. You would be in the car after that. We would be social distancing on a roller coaster. I saw this meme, this image with the saying on it. The saying was, Speaking out against white supremacy and race-based violence does not make you anti-white, anti-police, right or left. It makes you pro-justice, pro-Black life, pro-accountability, and pro-racial equality. And I got into tone policing and said, speaking out against does not make me pro anything. Only speaking out in pro does that. And what I want to say is, why do I translate? Why do I want to speak for something and against nothing? Why do I want to stand for something and against nothing? And I realized, oh, wow. Because I listened to Reverend Dr. Kathy Ann's talk. She's the senior minister in Seattle, and she said it's easier to be against than for. It's easier to find what I'm against. And I didn't realize, wow, it's so true. I can look at the situation, circumstance, and condition and claim I'm against that. But it takes a minute. It takes a conscious minute. It takes time to look at it, to find in my mind the matching principle that I actually do stand for, that I actually do desire, and stand for that. It takes time. It takes time. However, when I find that thing that I am for, I have a path. I have the way. I have the Tao. And for me, it's not tone policing. For me, that would be argued, and that's okay. I can be criticized. I can stand in conflict that I'm tone policing, and that's good and that's okay, or that's not good or bad. It just is. But I'm going to spend my mind finding what I'm for and creating that in the world. I'm going to model the Tao. I'm going to be the example of the Tao of freedom. This is where I say we are conduits for the divine. And yes, people will argue. Everything is God. Hate is God. This is God. That is God. And I'm going to say, I'm going to stand for freedom. One way we bind or imprison ourselves is with our thoughts. The endless stream of chatter that leaves us feeling overwhelmed, confused, and paralyzed based on the disbelief that we are our thoughts is prevalent. Now, this is the most important thing I learned from this talk. The Tao of freedom helps us stop identifying with that voice and realize that we are not the one who is thinking these thoughts. Rather, we are the one who is aware of them. Let me say that again. We are not the ones who are thinking the thoughts. We are the one who is aware of them. And so for me, it is important, it is imperative, it is my ministry, it is my devotion, it is my spiritual practice to become aware of what I'm speaking, because I know that what I'm speaking is backed by a thought, which is backed by a belief. And so call me a tone police, or call me a model of the Tao of freedom. That I want to find the conversation and the narrative for a world that works for everyone, which includes anyone who wants to speak, that I would absolutely lay down my life for your right to speak. It is our Constitution. I'm not criticizing the way you speak. I'm listening to know if that's what I believe. Isn't that interesting? Please understand me. I'm not criticizing the way you speak. I'm trying to understand what I believe. I'm trying to understand if it matches what I believe. And if I just go along with the herd and don't take the time to find my belief so that I can speak my truth, then I'm kind of selling out, don't you think? I feel like I am. And I know for a fact that I've gotten into a lot of trouble choosing how I want to express myself. And one reason for getting in trouble for the way I express myself is to criticize the way you express yourself. And even when I don't, and I just say it differently, I've been attacked. So I had to think about that because I would like to do no harm. And so is it better that I be quiet? No. It is not better that I be quiet because those who would like to criticize those who are quiet, accuse those who are quiet of agreement. Knowing yourself as the awareness behind the voice, or becoming aware of awareness, can truly transform your life. I've never heard that before. Aware of awareness. So I publicly apologize for anything that I have expressed or modeled that feels like I have criticized or disregarded or not listened or not heard, not availing the opportunity for you to be heard. And I'm excited to announce that I'm getting stronger and more confident in the Tao of freedom. I will be awkward until I'm not. And if I hurt you, I hurt me. Let us pray. I miss that sound. I miss us in our center. But I'm so grateful that you're all here. There's a lot to pray. There's a lot to pray. And so I am so grateful that my God, called by many names, the Tao, Allah, Brahman, Yahweh, the Great Spirit, knows and has created everything out of itself in perfect balance, in opposition and complement. Animal, mineral, vegetable, the galaxies, the levels of measured intelligence that is assumed to be sentient or non-sentient. All there is. And I know that this creator, this author of love, this artist that creates amazing creatures, paints the sky, created the moon to watch over the tides, all the stars, created everything created me and all of us. Not to be separate, not to be anything other than itself. Creativity, love, light, harmony, joy, abundance, peace, wholeness. Everything good. And so I make claim right here and right now that right in this very moment, I feel the invitation for all the world leaders to climb in that lap of the infinite, where all of us go there right now and join hearts and hands and love each other for whatever it is we've come here to do and be. That it's important, that it's good, that it's a compliment, that it's necessary, that all of it is for the highest good of the ever expanding life. We're not going backwards here, ever. That is not the nature of the Tao. It is not the nature of the thing itself. The nature of the thing itself is to be ever expanding. And maybe this growth spurt that we are in right now hurts our muscles and hurts our bones, hurts our heart, our organs. But it is so amazing. And we don't know how big we're growing or how any of what we're growing into will look like. There is no outcome here for us to know. There's no outcome for us to attach to. We are just here now. But we can be here, and we can be here in the Tao, in the love, in the light, in the acceptance, in the forgivingness. We can be here in the wholeness and the abundance and the joy. We can be here with each other, lifting each other up, speaking our word into what we are for: freedom, equity, equality, respect, joy, abundance for all, enough food for all of us, enough, and more than enough. This is an abundant universe. And we become aware of our awareness of it so that it expresses into form. We stand with one another, with one another, for one another, for all. We stand for all. Wow. I am so grateful to commit my life to this. I will commit my word to this. I not will commit. I commit my word. I commit my mouth. I commit my tongue. I commit my eyes and my ears. I commit my body to the truth that we are all one. And that something absolutely magnificent is happening here, now, for our highest good. And for all of you who have a prayer in your heart for someone, for something, the minute that you speak it, speak into the principle of it, into wholeness, abundance, health, joy, happiness. It is so, it becomes so, powerfully so. That is the law. And so I speak with and into awareness of my awareness. And so I'm grateful this prayer is answered, and I simply release my word into the law that stamps it, done. And so it is.
I sing this song not to you, but for you, because I know this is the truth of who we all are. Take these words in. The things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dreams I left behind. I am light. I am light. I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. All light. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.
Wow. Do you feel that you received, that you have been given to? I know I have. I took a lot of notes to reflect on. And so now we offer you the opportunity to give back. And now there are 3 ways that you can give. You can go on our website that is posted here, sacscsl.org, and you can either use debit, credit, or PayPal. And you can also donate with a personal check, and please mail it to the address on the screen, as our post office box is no longer ours. And with that, I'd like to give our abundance affirmation. And I would like to say I love this. I use this even when I pay my bills, because that is the abundance to me, that when I pay my bills, I'm also sharing my gift of abundance. And so let's please read together while you are muted the abundance affirmation. I give thanks for the abundance that is mine to share, and my willingness to share it, knowing that my gift returns to me multiplied many times over. And so it is.
Well, just like we received an incredible amount of information and music and love and joy from the service, we also have a whole lot of stuff going on outside of Sunday services. Now, the books of the month were mentioned by Reverend Sharon. It's the Metahuman by Deepak Chopra and Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, Living the Wisdom of the Tao by Wayne Dyer. We also are closing out 2 classes this month. One is the Rational Path to Mystery of Thomas Troward, who's one of the roots of Science of Mind, and Now the Way Within. So the classes are open on a drop-in basis. So if you want to drop in this week, please feel free. We also have upcoming classes. The first one is Your Authentic and Innate Goodness, which is based on the book based on the book Ordinary Goodness. We also have one on Rumi, Walking the Path, the Inner Path of Love. And Reverend Sharon will be teaching these again Tuesday mornings and Thursday evenings. And they are on a drop-in basis, and they offer a love offering. And please take advantage of the incredible gift that Sharon is gifting us with. These classes are mostly created by Edward Villon. Reverend Sharon is just masterful at engaging us in this study. So please, again, take advantage of this. We're back to the first Monday of the month being our healing circle with Jaime de Guzman. He's not able to do acupuncture. He hasn't figured out how to get needles through the Zoom, but he does have something that's almost as good, and it's the healing circle, the 6 healing sounds. And there are exercises that go with this called Qigong and come. There is a video you can watch of the first presentation, which is theory, and now he's into actual practice. So please join. You can get more on Meetup, more information. Every second and fourth Wednesday, we have Wisdom Wednesdays. We thoroughly enjoyed Doug and his poetry and Ruby and his poetry and Hafiz and his poetry and talking about that last Wednesday. So this Wednesday is going to be dark, so to speak. And then the second Wednesday of August, we will come back together, and you never really know what you're going to get on Wisdom Wednesday. So show up for the surprise, for the joy of it. On Fridays, we have Kindred Connection, which is just a very casual, low-key, come hang out with us. And it's every Friday. You can bring, your glass of wine or your after-work beer or your last coffee of the day, or in this heat, just bring it and come and join. Hang out with us. And the biggest thing is we are turning 5 years old. We affiliated with CSL 5 years ago, August, and that was a major shift and step into growth for the group that was around 5 years ago, that has become the group we are now, under Reverend Sharon's masterful leadership. But this is a day of celebration, of kind of remembering why we're here, why Science of Mind captured our attention, and how this center supports us in our own growth. And we'd love to know how each of us found this teaching and how it's changed your life. I love listening to the stories. So come tell your story so I can hear. And on our webpage or on our Meetup site, you have access to all kinds of information about what's coming up, what it's about, how to get involved. So please, again, take advantage of us. We have a lot of offerings because we love you. So from there, we're going to go into our closing song, We Are One. And I don't know if it's going to be a cappella, I know. I'm not quite sure who gets, Jennifer. we get her a cappella. Again, turn your mute on and feel free to sing out loud since no one's going to hear you except you.
But I wish I could hear you all a lot. But anyway, join me in singing our closing song, One Together. We are one together on this path of life. We are one in spirit. We remember we are the light. We are one together on this path of life. We are one in spirit. We remember we are the light. We remember we are the light.
And joining me, an affirmation of my freedom is the awareness that all things live together for the good of all other things and for the greater good of life itself. And under the umbrella of the Rainbow One Mind, we are all siblings of this one divine presence. And as we know together, we're siblings of the love above us, around us, and through us. And everywhere we are, this presence is 24/7. For it's the freedom of our mind that we take to our heart. And we bless this service. We bless everyone that's given their time and effort and talent. And we bless each other and we bless the world as we go, and we're here to give the love that we so have and we're given by our divine presence. For we are free and we have that choice. And we let go, we let God. And so it is.
So it is.
For fellowship.
We also have a choice of getting a 5-minute miracle treatment from any one of our practitioners. If you're interested in that, please send a chat message to Sarah, Reverend Sarah, and she will put you in a chat room so you can have a private one-on-one with a practitioner. Before I get tossed into a room, Sharon, that was absolutely brilliant. I so enjoyed your talk. What really struck me was when you were talking about how all the pieces seem to be fractured, and yet that it is what it is, and to trust it because it is within something that is so much bigger.
Right?
Always right time, right place, the Tao.
The Tao.
Reminds me of when I was studying systems theory in college, and he talked about living systems all have a directionality. And when you move up into the next system or out into the next system, it goes the other direction.
Yeah.
Such a Taoist thing of it all comes, it all comes. So thank you for reminding me of that, and just for being even more of your normally brilliant self. How about that?
Thank you so much. Sometimes I just have no idea. God's a body snatcher. A ventriloquist.
And I'd like to speak into that because it was a very moving sacred service from the opening to the music. It just so connected. It resonated with me, and yes, the Reverend Sharon, your message hit home in so many areas and so many places, and it was such a I don't necessarily say if it's a great reminder so much as it opened up a path of possibility to explore even further or deeper, wider, however. And I am just, I'm just excited and so grateful. So thank you.
And my darling Linda, please click on that little button and join the breakout room for prayer.
Okay.
I was so happy to see Lee Nichols here with us today. I remember meeting her at Sarah's ordination, and we have the most beautiful guest of honor, looking radiant and amazing, sitting next to her daughter. And welcome, Lee Nichols. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Sharon. What a great talk. We really
I am
enjoyed
happy
it.
too to be here.
I think we saw Kathy here. We saw, I think we saw both your sisters, didn't we?
Yeah, Diane's still here. It just says Diane and Patricia because when I was in Kansas 2 weeks ago and we joined, I changed the name. I guess she still wants me there.
Well, you may as well just leave it since you're going to be going back soon.
When you get sufficiently evolved, you can be in more than one place.
There she is.
Once.
Hi, Diane.
Yet, but I, respect those who can do it. Diane, I can see you, but I can't hear you because you're muted.
Thank you for reminding me to unmute myself. I don't know how to take Patricia off my title, so I'm just Diana Patricia till Patricia comes back.
There is a little when you take your cursor.
Oh no!
Oh.
Leave it up. Leave it
Oh,
up. I like being in two places at once.
Okay.
I like having my heart in Kansas.
We'll leave it that
heart
way.
in California.
It was a wonderful service. Thank you. Thank you, Sharon.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. I don't know Stephanie Guillermo or Guillory. Is that good morning to you? I know a Stephanie, but I don't think that's the Stephanie that I know. And Judy, how are you?
Unmute, please.
There. Is that it?
Yep.
I'm good. Yeah, the talk I was taking notes, which is kind of nice when I'm at home. There's so much information, and it's also, for me, it's all important. And I kind of, always relate it to my own life and my experience. And this pandemic, one thing about it is it's forced me to get back to the being alone in the quietness and back to focusing on my own spiritual growth. And so I interpreted some of what you were saying in this experience. And I thought it was great. I really, I always get a lot. So thank you.
Judy, does the quietness also support your artwork? I know you're an artist.
Well, I don't need anything to support my artwork. I live, breathe art.
Okay. Like Jennifer with music.
In a space where it's just incredible. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Judy. Jaime, I've been thinking a lot about you this week. Because
I like it when people think about me.
right? Teaching the class on Taoism, not teaching, being a student in the class on Taoism and learning about Taoism. Every time I get in the classroom, I think of you because you're so, I did not understand your expertise. I did not understand Qigong. I didn't understand, any of it actually. And I realized that we have such a jewel in you that I completely did not understand. It's kind of like that thing where when you focus on something, it becomes real. It takes form. I hadn't focused on Taoism, so I didn't understand what you were doing, and so it didn't take form for me. And now I'm thinking, gosh, given the pandemic and everything that we're doing, didn't we think this, Doug, when we should be having Jaime every week doing Qigong? And so I'm just so glad you're doing it the first Monday. And now that I have learned enough to be dangerous in Taoism, I'm becoming a Taoist.
Well, Taoism has always been part of my practice for the past 20 years. And probably that was what pushed me in a way to science of mind.
Yeah.
Early on, I kind of saw the similarities. And so after finishing my training in Chinese medicine, I saw the resemblance with CSL. So that was a way to keep practicing. So
isn't that something? Do you think Ernest Holmes studied Taoism? Most definitely.
I just came back from Cesar Chavez Park in downtown Sacramento this morning. I was there from 7:30 until 9:30, roughly, doing what we were doing at the church. Myself and 6 other acupuncturists got together and to treat the homeless. And it was an amazing blessing to be there. And, obviously we've taken all kinds of precautions, wearing masks and sanitizing our hands after every treatment. But what a blessing to be around those people. And they're so grateful, so happy to see all of us. And it was a beautiful experience. And talk about Taoism. I mean, I was living Taoism for those 2 hours. It was just beautiful.
Well, I just want to tell you I'm in love with you on such a different level now. And I just want everyone to know that we have someone very, very special in our center. And whatever you want to do, we're here. Delane, are you talking? You're muted, Lovey. We want to hear from you.
Yeah, hi everybody. I have forgotten about the Qigong, and I don't want to because I've done a tiny bit of it a long time ago, and I know the value. So is it every Monday night or just once a month? Or because I got to get in the routine of coming in on that. Jaime, is it every Monday?
So 2 things. There are many different styles of Qigong. What I'm doing right now is a sound healing Qigong. Basically, there's a sound for every organ. So I'm teaching the sound and I'm teaching the movement that goes along for each different organ. So that's one thing. The second thing is that it's for now, unless there's more interest, for now is the first Monday of every month. Just the same we were doing before with the actual acupuncture, putting the needles in the ear, the first Monday of the month, we're replacing that for this Qigong exercise. So for now, it's the first Monday of the month at 6:30 p.m.
Okay,
Using
thank you.
the same
Sarah, I'm thinking that we should probably put this on the minister's listserv because people can come from all over the world to this event. So,
That's true.
you know, it's just dawning on me now. And again, it's that quantum physics. When we give attention to it, it you know, when we observe something and comes into form, let's all put out on Facebook to friends. And this is an amazing talent we have here that I want to say our best kept secret is not a secret anymore. So let's do that, Sarah. Let's put this out there.
No problem.
Another question, if I may. I was a little distracted and I didn't get to hear the final, I didn't get to hear what Patricia said about I heard the book and I didn't hear anything else after that. And if we're recording, then I can go somewhere and hear the rest of it, right?
There are a lot of activities I whizzed through, yes. The end of old classes, the beginning of new classes, our 5th anniversary, our 1st birthday. So yeah, go hit the website. It'll be all on there.
Okay, I never go to the website for some reason. I'm not even sure I know how to get there.
Are you on Facebook then?
Yeah.
If you're a Facebook fan, we try to hit all the social media. So if you're a Facebook fan, it's there. If you're a meetup person, it's there. If you're a website person, it's there.
On Facebook, it's on the Facebook group for the center, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and another the website. Delane, the website's super easy. You just go into your browser and put www.sac.csl.org. Don't go to .com because that's a paranormal site.
Ooh, well, aren't we paranormal? I thought we were.
We're meta-normal.
So Debbie just put in the chat the web address. www.sac.csl.org.
Okay.
And it's
cool.
You're going to love it because you know what? Adrian, another best kept secret, keeps Adrian, Ruth, and Jaime and Stephanie keep this website alive and up to date. And so you're going to want to see Adrian's amazing service to our community.
Okay, all right. I look forward. I'll check that out after.
I want to make one clarification. A while back, we purchased both domain names, so we should own saccsl.org and saccsl.com. I'm going to double check that that's still the case, but at one point, we did buy those 2 domain names. So if saccsl.com is pointing to a different site, to get that fixed because we own that domain name.
Hoorah.
I love all you guys. Good to see you on Sunday.
I have a question. We do have a recording of the Wisdom Wednesday where Jaime taught the theory of Qigong. I'm wondering if that's something we can post on our Facebook page so that those who are interested in coming every Monday might want to watch the Wisdom Wednesday to get the background information first.
Yeah, let's get that posted if it's okay with Jaime. And of course, we would have had to get permission from everyone attending.
True, although I think the recording is trimmed down to where it's just showing on the screen Jaime doing all of it. I don't think it shows anybody else on the screen. I'll review it and make sure and that it's trimmed down and send it to you.
Perfect. Perfect, like you, Ruth.
The other thing I wanted to say while I'm unmuted is I have a audio recording of Dwayne Dyer talking about his interpretation of the Tao. So his Tao interpretation, he reads through it, but he also gives comments about how he got to that interpretation and his own life. It's just an amazing audio book and amazing to listen to him, read it, obviously. But I highly recommend it if you're interested in the Tao to hear him actually read his interpretation. It's wonderful.
I actually have been starting to listen to YouTube videos on Taoism. It's been really great.
Is that where he is on YouTube? The Wayne
Well, he's
Dyer?
also in heaven.
Well, I guess he can speak for
I think
me
Ruth
there.
is talking about an audio book. So
Right. You can get it on Amazon, of course. But yeah, just look up the audio book of Dwayne Dyer reading his interpretation of the Tao.
Okay, good. The Tao, to me, sounds just like Science of Mind. I think Ernest Holmes, I don't want to say copied, but he put the Tao in his own words and called it Science of Mind.
Okay, guys. I think this concludes our fellowship for today. I just wanted to check in if anyone has anything they want to say. Hi, Connie. How are you and Ken doing?
We're fine, and I just have to tell you, like everyone else, your talk today was so amazing, and it had meaning for me on many levels. In fact, I took so many notes I had to write up all over my booklet that I have. So thank you very, very much. It was one of your best talks ever for me.
I'm just going to say I love you all. That's what I have to say.
And we'll see you for our new theme for August. And that'll be super fun. Brand new theme and brand new journey. Yay to freedom.
Okay, bye. Love you all. Have a blessed week in living and expressing the perfection and that freedom, remembering that we are always at choice. Bye.
Bye.